Hi there. I am so sorry that I will still be out of town. I think I will actually be in an airplane as this is happening. So thank you so much for being obviously here at the ISC today. My name is Meredith White. I teach Spanish at Peachtree Ridge. And I'm going to go, let me start my little timer for myself here. I'm going to explain a couple of ways you can record videos that I prefer. So I guess like all technology, right? It's like really personal and based on what you're comfortable with and based on just kind of where you are in your technology use and also what you like, right? There's so much out there for tech tools that just comes down to, nah, I don't like that. Or, I think that looks weird. And so hopefully I will give you a couple of options or an option that you find appealing and that you like and that you feel that you'll use. We are going to also showcase ways of curating your playlists, or now with the district YouTube access, what am I even using it for, right? If you're like, I can't even, like you're saying playlist, what kind of playlist? What am I making? What am I doing? What's going on here? And so this is kind of a natural first step in thinking about how the heck am I going to use YouTube? Because we can, of course, find other people's content, but we can't necessarily know always where to start in creating our own content. We may have become experts in this actually this past year, which we're all going to be recovering from for a while. Just glad not to be checking email. And so this is for me, like I said, the logical step to begin is thinking, okay, what if I want to make my own videos? Let's see what happens. As you can see, I am in this video. I could just like fly around here, which when you take your green screen away, the students find very creepy, and I'm here for it. So I am currently using an app called just like it sounds, 2 M's, H, 2 more M's. So I'm actually going to put that here in my, whoops, not enough M's. There we go. In my browser, and you can see that it's going to be the first one that comes up. It's app. Now, Sean can, of course, tell you differently. She can tell you more safely, of course, if it's allowed at school or if it's in whatever process it gets in to be allowed, which I don't know. But she knows, obviously, the LSTC speak for, like, if it's allowed. So I make some videos like this using I am at school right now, but I'm on my personal computer, and I am also a fan of making some of those videos at home. So I'm a big, like, work-life boundaries, especially after this year. Oh my God. Like, we got to separate. But if you have the ability, if for some reason Sean says right now, and she pauses me right now and says that it's not allowed, you do have the capability of creating videos and not, like, on your own somewhere else and not breaking any kind of, like, school rules. I think. Sean, stop me if it's, like, just not allowed, because then I've been breaking the rule all year. If there are rules, don't tell me about them. So this is and what you can do with is choose a screen to be your background, and then you can be physically on your screen. And what I find this really nice for, among other things, just kind of looking very clean, is you can also point out specific things in the content. So let's say here, let's not pretend, let's actually pull up some slides that I want you to see here. Let's say that this is my content. So I'm going to put this in present mode. So let's say, there we go. So let's say this is, these are not content, obviously. These are my very low-key, low-maintenance lesson plans that we had to post this year. God, please don't judge them. The target is just, listen, it should just say we're doing the best we can. So, but if I pretended that this was a slide with content, I could be pointing in the moment, this equation, this particular vocabulary word, this example, and allows me to do exactly what I'm doing, which is kind of like drag my face around. I could be as big or as small as I want to be. And again, the only prerequisite is that behind me, I've got like a green screen. You can see my, oops, that's my timer going off there. You can see my desk in my classroom is right there. So I just have a big green curtain hanging behind me. So and hopefully it doesn't crash down on my head. So that's the logistics behind it. So you can move yourself around. You can point more specifically than maybe you could just by verbally saying. And in the example, in the lower right-hand corner, that kind of a thing, which we've been doing all year, of course, but this can be like a little bit handier of a way, especially if you're, a language teacher, a math teacher, showing examples in context, just any content. I'm saying randomly language and math, but just like literally everyone, especially if you've got some of those documents too, like for DBQs, you're like right here, it says blank. So if the plan, of course, isn't to teach virtually, but you're thinking of creating content again for next year, which I know I am, not to the degree of this year, but still wanting to create some things, that's an option where you can be directly interacting with the materials. And then you save those and they then are there for students to either expand on, to use as, they missed class, not every day, but like once in a while, maybe an extra credit thing, maybe some kind of level up opportunity, students who are already kind of grasping X and Y and they want to take it to the next level. Awesome. So that's one option. Again, that was So with I am directly on top of the content. The other thing, let me slide over here. So hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. And actually, let me just check that. Let me just do a quick little tech check because you're going to get some of these slides as well and make sure that everything's recording the way I want it to. Pause, please. And we're back. Okay, so I checked everything. Phew, everything's fine. So awkward little several minute welcome then, and there you go. And So that was and I'm just going to use actually throughout. And then, of course, tell you about the other guys, right? The competition. So that's if you want to be directly on the content. You don't have to be. You don't have to move around even. You can just kind of anchor yourself here. And let's say I just want to go through, these are template slides, so these aren't even slides. But let's say I wanted to go through the lesson and do this and teach this. And I just want to be directly on the content. Well, there you go. You don't need to move yourself around, but you can be a little bit more cleanly framed, if that makes sense. And so it can be nice to create things that maybe just look a little bit more, put together. But the other options I'm going to tell you also have you in them. So you have the ability here to turn that off as well. So you can play with some of the features. You can go sort of half invisible and then fully invisible and then pow right there. So this is still but you have some options there. And you can also be bigger than life, probably too big. I can't see myself, but or just really awkwardly small, which is kind of funny. Anyway, you can see it just allows you to also entertain yourself. So as we do, we're teachers, we're good at that. We've been talking to black screens all year for 14 months now, so it's fine. So that's and I'm going to keep it open because I'm going to keep using it for this. So kind of modeling what a video can look like, right? The second one I want to talk about is Screencastify. So let me go back to you. So Screencastify, and I'll search that in my browser here. Screencastify is, you can find it just by searching it. And it says it's the #1 screen recorder for Chrome, but I totally believe that because it is really, really awesome. I have used it for a while. Yeah, there it is. Yay, video for everyone. I've used it for a while. And what it actually does is it's going to add this little extension to your Chrome browser. Again, Sean, pause me, fast forward me if this is against protocol and it has not been approved. I don't know those lists. So this little icon here in my Chrome browser just lives in my Chrome browser all the time. So it's going to embed that extension, and then you can do exactly what it says, screencast. A screencast is when you're doing exactly as I am now. You're showing your screen, and usually you're also in the broadcast. So if you want to make videos for students and you want to be in them, or you want to turn that off, but you want them to hear you, Well, there you go. Whatever it is that you're demonstrating or explaining, and if it's done by video, voice, or both, then awesome. So Screencastify will do very similarly and simply as to what is doing right now. The only difference is you're not outlined, like you have like a circle, like a square around you, and you're not directly on the content the way that I can like be on top of what I'm showing you like that. That's not how Screencastify does it. Screencastify is going to be like fixed in one place. And so you're talking, narrating, kind of like the news. I think of Screencastify like the news. Like, you know how they're talking and they're showing a screen up here? It's like that. Like you're in the screen up here and then you're showing what's on your screen. So let's do it. I'm going to go here and I'm actually just going to go right on top of these slides here. And I'm going to hit that Screencastify. So once you go to screencastify.com, you download it, whatever, make a password that you write down somewhere, because I know I have to at this point, and you get all signed in, and it adds the extension to your Chrome browser. You're just in anything at any time, and you just click on it. So let's say I want to use these slides. Let's pretend like these have content on them. Oh, a grade check-in. Yes. Let's absolutely Screencastify this because, oh my goodness, they need all of the reminders, right? Me too. So when you click the extension, this is going to come up, and here are your options for microphone or no microphone, and then webcam or no webcam. Now, I doubt that mine will actually come up. Oh, this will be freaky. Mine can actually use the camera. So we'll see if it'll let me use it twice at one time. But since I'm already using the camera, I kind of doubt it. But let's see what happens. So, or hopefully it won't stop my recording. Okay, let's see. Let's experiment. This will be an adventure together. So once I hit record, I'm going to see normally my face and then whatever is on my screen right now. So literally this grade check-in. I could have this expanded really big and say, hey students, just checking in. Here's your flow chart to figure out if you're missing any work. You are. If you're missing, any tests or quizzes, all of them. No, I'm just kidding. That's my commentary from this year. If you're not sure where the calendar is for the deadlines, which clearly you are not, whatever the thing is that you're talking about, you're showing it, and both are in like a fixed position. So you can kind of go about your business, go through a whole lesson, use various slides like this, different screens, and narrate and be seen or not at the same time. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna hit record. Let's see if it'll like totally shut down my computer. It's like a Inception experience right now because it's like me, talking to you. So if I change, it's too late, but if I change my camera to, let me see what this looks like on the screen. Oh, amazing. Look, it's me and me. Freaky. Too much. So that's what it does. Like, imagine this is just your face up here. So let me actually, let's do this. Let's stop it. Let's see if it'll let me do the FaceTime camera. I kind of doubt it. Oops, let me go back here. I kind of doubt it. Let's see if we don't totally blow up the entire computer. Ta-da! I wasn't wrong. It totally shut down everything. So you can't be running two, which I figured, but I was like, let's see. Let's jump right in this together, shall we? You can't run two programs at the same time that both use your camera. So just kind of wanted to see what happened, and now we know. So, oopsies. But here's what it looked like. Hold on, let me slide up here. Ta-da! Which way? Here's what it looked like before it closed everything. Sorry, computer. Love you. And so that's what you see when you see Screencastify is, let me make this a little bit bigger. Boo-doo-doo. There we go. A little bit longer. Okay. So what it does when you hit that extension that lives right here, it'll show that you're recording with the little red dot. Again, this is Screencastify. And then your face and whatever's behind you will pop up in a square in the corner. And then it'll do a little countdown and you can rock and roll. You just start recording from there. So whatever you're displaying, let's say you've got slides like this, or you've got, an assignment or some kind of image, some kind of nonverbal representation, QTPS strategy, extra credit. whatever you have that you're trying to show them, even if it's literally e-class. I have like a bank of videos that you guys will have access to if you want to do something similar and copy the format. I have a bank of videos where I'm just like, hi, this is email. Here's how to send an email. Hi, this is e-class. Here's how to work e-class. Here's where to find everything. These can be a really great way to meet you, hear you, see you, and also see what's going on in the class, especially in this fall. Like if you're teaching digitally, obviously, but if you're doing maybe like a little bit half and half, I know we won't be hybrid. We've been told, I beg, to not be hybrid again. It was not good. Whatever the situation is, we're going to need to show them and model and walk through so many things that these kind of tools are really going to be key. So things where, again, they're seeing us, getting a sense for us, we're able to explain, be visible, and then show content are really, really awesome. So, Screencastify, okay, those are 2. And we've given you work time built into the schedule today. So there will be, you have the ability to play around, which is the fun part, right? That's why we come to these. They're a workshop, not a listen shop. And so you'll have time to work and kind of play with those. Let's say you have some students who are English language learners, right? I mean, come on. Or hard of hearing or deaf. I know we don't have any deaf programs we don't have any ASL programs explicitly in GCPS, but we do have students who are deaf or hard of hearing. And so let's say you even want to deliver content, be seen, be heard, or be read, right? Maybe all at the same time. A level up for the Google Slides option, let's get my face out of here. A level up for the Google Slides option can be on those slideshows. Let me go back to Google Slides. On those slideshows, you can turn on the captions. So I'm going to actually give it a second to think. Oops, I clicked presenter view. Reset, go back. I don't need that. There we go. You can actually at the bottom, I'm going to toggle this up. In Google Slides, let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. No, I'm in the way. There we go. Okay, you're going to see me bottom left-hand corner there. You can click on those 3 dots and turn on the English, right now at this point, English only, captions. So what it should say is it'll take a second here. I can't toggle this out of the way ever. Let me move this. There we go. What you should see here will be caption. Yeah, let me see if I can, oops, hold on. They're not playing for some reason, but they play all the time. I literally have them on every day. So maybe it just doesn't hear me. But I've also got listening to audio, so this might be one of those things. But there it is. Yay. I'm going to shut down my computer again. Recording, audio, video, lights, camera. These laptops were not built for this. So you've got here you speaking, but again, for deaf or hard of hearing students, and English language learners, very helpful. You've got the captions then that now come up behind, like below whatever it is you're showing. So you've got those kind of 3 things happening. You've got the ability to hear it, read it, see it, whichever one is whatever, the easiest access point for students and parents. For parents, this is really nice because, especially for our parents who speak additional languages and have varying, of course, levels of English proficiency, this is really nice as a welcome, like you're doing an open house video. That open house that was virtual was like the best thing, okay? Whoever's listening, if it's any, if we can sway procedures in the future at all, that virtual open house was the best because it was comfortable. We weren't rushed. You know how it gets. You got to line out the door. It's meet the teacher or open house. You know what I'm talking about. All of that kind of thing. Virtually, boom. Like, hi, here's the e-class page. Hi, here's me. This is our classroom, etc. That was a dream. You could have more. For me, I and so many that I've talked to here at Peachtree Ridge, like you could have some intention. It felt personal. And a lot of times those in-person things don't feel personal because you've got to line out the door. Your colleagues are annoyed at the line out the door. You've got 15 parents going like, hi, what about little Jimmy's grade? Like, I don't even know what student anyone's referring to. And here we are. You know, I mean, so I don't always find that to be the most accessible point for parents, or the most approachable, or, you know, not the best use of time necessarily for all involved. So if you can make an open house video, and now, you know, let's say that this is your grade, let's pretend that this doesn't say grade check-in and it says like grade procedures. Incredible. Here's how the grade book works. Here's what the assignments look like. Pow, in your face. What more could people want, right? And then it's something they can also refer back to. And as a teacher, it's also some documentation to refer back to and say, hey, FYI, remember this was part of the welcome to, you know, language arts, or the welcome to chemistry, or the welcome to fourth grade. Like this was that was in there, you know, so that's a living artifact, you know, in a way that parents and students can continue referring to. So that can be pretty cool with the captions on Google Slides, just as one example of a level up. So we've got Screencastify. Okay, secret favorite is Loom. Loom, like the thing you like weave on, Loom. And I'm gonna go over to Loom here. Let's see, hoping you can still see my screen. Good. So you can go, so Loom is just loom.com, which you can see here. Again, isn't the pointing handy? I'm telling you. So might be my favorite, but Loom is a very close second place, if not tied for favorite. And I love Loom for a couple of things. So you'll see that I've mentioned a couple of different nuances for all of these. They have different facets that make them different from each other, of course. So Screencastify, I like for just simple screencasts. Also, Screencastify uploads either directly to YouTube if you want it. So when you get that play work time and if you want to download that extension, Sean can show you like on the side where that comes up. And if you make your own video with then you can just upload it directly to YouTube. It saves on your computer or wherever. Screencastify will also save to Google Drive. So those are some handy things to know. Loom is going to be different in that it doesn't necessarily save to a place, but it automatically gives you, I mean, you can save it to a place, but what it does right away is it generates a link a personal link that you can send to parents, students, colleagues, whoever it is that you're walking through something. So Loom is also going to put you on top of, or not on top of, but next to, like Screencastify does, whatever it is you're explaining. I'm not going to turn on because it's going to make this into like I'm going to screw it up again. But I'm going to insert some examples. You're going to see when I give my, let me make a note to myself actually right now. This is teacher life, right? We're like, write it down or I'm not going to remember it. So you're going to get my help desk slides and you're going to see examples of Loom videos. They're going to open up in Loom. So a couple of them, like the grade one will be a YouTube video, but you'll see others will open up. Like you'll see that purple logo up in the corner here, like this one. You'll see that and you'll see that they open from loom.com and then you'll see my face. So when students want, I turned that in. I'm sure no one else has heard that. I turned it in. Why do I still have a 0? Because it's blank. Okay. Again, it's summertime. Sorry, we're relaxing, right? This is me, relaxed. Oh, what a year. When they can't figure out why it's blank and why they don't have credit for that thing they didn't do. Loom can be a really nice way just to open up whatever it is, like Google Classroom or eClass, and say, oh, hey there, Jimmy. This is what I'm seeing. Here are your submissions. Here's what I'm not seeing, the thing we're talking about. And, over here is going to be, blah, blah, blah. So like in your browser, it's going to look actually just like this. Let me go eClass. So it's going to look exactly as mine does right now. Give mine a second because it's thinking awfully hard. I'm like, I'm pushing it. eClass, I'm sorry. There we go. So my computer, this poor laptop. We're going to shut it down for the whole summer, I promise. Whew, it's doing the best it can. So you could be like, let's pretend that this is like I'm up on like the quizzes page and I'm like, hey, Jimmy, here's what I see for quizzes, and I can, in the browser, click quizzes. Here's yours, obviously not showing Jimmy anybody else's scores, but just little Jimmy's scores, and so on and so forth. Or if your colleagues go, oh shoot, I'm on e-class and I can't figure out how to do whatever, Loom is also a great way just to like pop over, show them around, click on the various places. Oh, it's down here. These are my lesson plans for the week. On the beach. And we're saying that's a lemonade. Okay, that's what we're going with. You can show teachers like, oh, you have to click here and then edit the widget and then content or whatever. Like if you're showing someone how to do something with technology or on your page or how to submit something. Every year I have to have someone remind me how to post grades. I don't know why I forget every year, but it's like I repress it. It's like it's a traumatic enough time of year that I'm like, not going to remember that. So it can be a nice way to walk through things with students, with colleagues, with parents. I've sent a number of Loom videos. Let's go back to my Loom library. I've sent a number of Loom videos to parents. Like this is an adult, so it's okay that her name is displayed here. And this is also an adult. These are not parents. But this was to a student named Kaylee. It's also a colleague. There we go. No, these are all, there we go. There's Ariel. So Ariel and I were talking about organization. This person and I were talking about, different things like, they're great for student updates. You have to look at your face a lot, obviously, as you see my gallery. But they can be great for student updates, but also personalized student updates is what I'm saying. So you can just code them like, oh, Jimmy, Sean W. And I'm telling you, when you stop recording, it's like, bloop, it refreshes, and you can copy the link and go, here you go, Sean. I walked you through it. Here you go, Jimmy. This is what I see for your grades. Click. And you're not like fumbling through writing a whole thing. I mean, you have to be comfortable, on camera or at least voice, because you can turn the Loom camera off as well. But as long as you're comfortable narrating and going through it and explaining, to me, I find it faster and easier than email in a lot of ways, in several ways. And that might just be a personal preference, but for those like open house videos, etc., it can be a really, really nice way to welcome people, to walk people through things. Parents a lot of times don't, I know we found that out this year, but previously as well, they don't even necessarily always know the features they have access to. So again, if anybody's in charge, we could get better at that. Like walking them through parent view, student view, like repeatedly, right? How many times is it like, what does he have? What's my child's grade? What? You have a login. Like, how is anybody answering this question these days? I don't mean that to sound like insensitive. I just mean, right? We pay for the things. They have the things. So this can be a nice way to go, hey, just checking in. Here's where they can find their progress report. Grades are updated every, whenever you do it, blah, blah, blah. Thanks. And it's a hyperlink. No need for anyone to log into things. I find that really accessible for our parents and students on devices. So maybe they're checking email and then it's like, they have to log into something and get the video. It's a really easy thing to send whatever way, parent view in Synergy, Google Voice, if that's allowed. I've been using it. All of the, whatever ways remind. It can be really nice to remind message out a Loom video link and say, hey, here's this week's update video. Boop. And it's literally in the hands of parents and students. Really, really nice. That hyperlink with Loom is key. Like really, really great. So I love Loom. From Loom, you can also download the video and then put it on your YouTube channel. So that's also a benefit. You have access to the video file for downloading and then uploading elsewhere. And you have a hyperlink directly to it. Incredible. Why not? Fantastic. So you have multiple ways of distributing information to students and parents, and again, colleagues, or, The last one is actually an app that I'm going to open on my phone. So I am going to delete this. Oops, cancel. I just want, I'm screwing up here. There we go. Whatever. I'll just keep me here and I'll be big. There we go. You're welcome. You're stuck with my face. So I'm going to open up an app called Clip-O-Matic. Actually, let's go back here and not choose the wrong screen. Clip-O-Matic. There we go. Boop. Clip-O-Matic. So when you search, I was calling it Clip-O-Matic for a couple of years. Whoops, there's no T. It's just clip. Of course, my head is covering. There we go. Just lean over here. There we go. So Clip-O-Matic is going to be an app on your phone. I'm an iPhone user, so I'm not sure about the Android access, but you can get it in the App Store. So this is the Apple App Store. That'll come up. And Clip-O-Matic is a little bit of a level up, probably, depending on your comfort level with different, there it is, with different apps and different videos. But what Clip-O-Matic does is it generates, as you can see here, it generates, let me press record. Ta-da, hey. Okay. It generates captions of, oh, it's doing it in Spanish. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me tell it that's in English. It's really confused. Although the transcript in Spanish, would it thought, yes, I would like to start over without saving, would have been amazing because there's always curse words. I don't know why it hears that, but it does the best it can. Okay, there we go. Press record. So what Clip-O-Matic does is directly on your phone, it records you on selfie mode only. And look at, I've turned this weird like purple color. It records you on selfie mode only and then gives you automatic subtitles. So it's not live. It's not like for students during, this is awesome, by the way, this coloring on me. It's not for students in the moment. It's for creating videos that you'll then upload to your YouTube channel. So you get 1 minute per video. You're going to see it's going to cut off here at 1 minute. So I'm 30 seconds in. At 1 minute, it'll stop. And you can save it to your phone, your camera roll, and from your phone, transmit the file however it is that you do that. I have the Google Drive app on my phone, so I just send it there. You can text it to yourself if you have a Mac. You can upload it directly on the YouTube app, and Sean can show you how to do that. Once you've got the YouTube app and you're signed into your YouTube channel, super easy and awesome. There we go. There's a minute. Really flattering. What's it going to do with the color? Oh, okay. I'm less purple now. So what I can do here is I can do a couple things. I can just save it straight away. Oh, it's tracking me and it thinks I'm moving. Amazing. I can save it straight away. Let me turn that off. Don't track me. Boop. Again, is great, but you have to, some of the features are like a little much. So it'll up here say save. And then I can also like trim the video. I can trim it back down here. And I can edit some of the captions once I hit play. So what Clip-O-Matic does is Clip-O-Matic's going to play me back here. It records you on selfie mode only. And look at, I've turned this weird like purple color. Where it records you on are the captions? It might still be thinking. Where are the captions? Anyway, the captions pop up and you can edit them directly. I'm going to hit save just for funsies. But those captions that you saw throughout, so you can edit them in case it spells something wrong, or like E-class, it never gets right. If I say the words E-class, it wants to make it like he class. So you can click on it and like backspace, make it E. But again, it's all on your phone. If that's not a comfort level for you, like so much, like not so much, but typing and like buttoning and sharing, don't worry about it. You're not missing out. There are other ways to get captions on your things. But if you are someone who wants to, if you want to have something that you're recording like in the moment, live in the moment, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to share this with my students. Like, this is going to be super cool. And you don't need to do it live. Like, you want to upload it to your channel and you can be cut off at a minute. It's really cool. As a language teacher, so this could be also helpful for your English language learner students, but as a second language or additional language teacher, I really love it to be speaking in the target language, which for me is Spanish, be speaking in the language I teach, and then have them like have the captions in Spanish as well. So it's not translating, it's not interpreting language, it's saying exactly what you said. So that's really nice for me as a language teacher, because it tricks them into reading too. Like, oh, it's just listen to the following clip. And they almost feel like they're cheating a little bit because they're like, I could see what you were saying. And that's fine. So I've tricked them into reading and listening in the language that I'm helping them acquire. So it can be really, really helpful. But that's a bit of a level up. It's just an option. If you're comfortable with your phone and you're comfortable with that would even be a need for you. If you it's like that scene in Hitch, with the movie with Will Smith and Eva Mendes, where he's teaching, shoot, I can't remember what the guy's name is, James, anyway, where he's teaching him how to dance, and he says, you're right here. This is where you live. You live here. Because he's wanting to do all these like wild, crazy dance moves. You're right here. Just stay right here. This is where you live. It's like my husband at a wedding reception. He's a touchdown dancer. He's touchdown, and I work around him, right? So you just stay right here. Wherever it is that you're comfortable with, wherever it is that's safe with technology, this is where you live. Totally fine. This one's a little bit of an extra, this one might feel a little bit like, not here for that. Good, don't bother. But it can be really fun if you are here for that. So it's one that I like, but for that very specific purpose. So we've hit Screencastify, Loom, and Clip-O-Matic. All different purposes, which you can go back, but basically Screencastify and Loom and are very similar. It just depends if you want to be on the video, in the video, and how you want to distribute it. Hyperlink versus download it, and then into YouTube, etc. So we've got some work time built in. I'm going to make sure these videos are all kind of spliced together here and play around. Download them all, and Sean can answer any troubleshooting questions as well. Okay, so I'll see you in the next segment.